to the Lady Gang Quickie. I'm Becca here with Jack and Kelty.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but we changed the studio around.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I don't know if anybody watching will notice.
No.
I don't think so, but I think it's nicer.
And by changed it, you mean we just shifted our chairs a little bit?
I did blackout curtains behind the curtains, so now no sun comes in.
Oh.
I have a desk that rolls, so it's rolled into the gym. Which sounds
standing desk?
My standing desk rolls. It's a rolling standing desk, which honestly has changed my life. I'm not going to lie. Changed my life, except I got a beautiful desk pad, and then I ate a peanut butter toast, and the peanut butter toast went and ruined the desk pad, and I washed it, and it's not the same. So, but no new things this year, so I'm going to have to just go with it. But anyway.
Can't you just use Shout? Shout gets everything out.
I know. Well, then I put it in the washing machine and the dryer, and it kind of flaked into nothing. So
You think it could have just been, you just use your desk and then wipe it off if something falls
I know.
on it?
Well, I like the soft padness for my wrists of a desk pad.
Okay.
But thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay.
Wow.
Ready? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Okay. Like I'm looking like I haven't didn't read all of these. Oh. This one's kind of juicy.
Saucy.
Experience working with Nate Burleson. He never came on LadyGang and you never speak of him. Do you have bad blood? Whoa. There's no bad blood. He never came on LadyGang?
Mm-mm. But I don't think we were recording Lady Gang because
we
you
were
were
off.
doing so much press.
Here's what I'll say about this. Like when you work in entertainment, and I think you would agree with all of your movies, there's certain people that you just vibe with and they become your lifelong best friends.
Yeah.
Like a Kevin Frazier I talk to all the time, a Michael Yo I hosted with. And then there's people that I've worked with that I'd never really see again. Like I like Nate. I think he's great. He was great on the show. We had a blast. But like he has 9 jobs. He lives in a different city. He's got 6 kids.
He's booked and busy.
He's booked and busy. So I just didn't feel like we ever had the time to like really hang out and become like besties.
Yeah.
But like, would I work with him again? Sure. Was I hoping we could do a second season? Absolutely. Do I still follow his wife on Instagram? And I'm so excited about his kids and they're like all playing football now. Like, yes. So there's no bad blood. And sorry he didn't come on LadyGang. He is great. We should.
Well, we
have
had
him.
also we were with LadyGang pre-taping so much.
Because
We
I
were
was
so
traveling.
busy.
Like, it was weird.
I don't even think we thought about it.
The lesson there though is, I see so many women in our Facebook group that are like, you don't have to be best friends with everybody.
No.
And we feel like we need to. It's like the work family, like and it's like, you can just do your job and go home.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like I actually haven't made as many close, like lifey friends at E as I did at ET. And I think it's because I'm jaded now where I'm like, oh, we're not a family. Like I went to all those people's weddings. I knew their kids' names. I was like the cameraman. I knew their,
Yeah.
And like, I just haven't been that invested in like, I don't know if it's a no new friend thing, but it's just like, I want to just focus on my real life friends and do my job.
It's also harder, like, because inevitably those jobs end much sooner than like normal corporate jobs.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get like so into each other's lives and intertwined, it just makes it harder when it ends.
Right. And you're like, where's my person? And
Well,
then
it's awkward. And you're like, how much should we talk?
Yeah.
Should we talk every day again? Like we were,
Right.
it was
Yeah.
like the summer camp kind of thing.
It's summer camp.
Summer
Yeah.
camp. So,
All right.
Thanks for asking.
Mob wife aesthetic.
Ooh.
So I like mob wife aesthetic only because I'm sick of clean girl aesthetic. I think it's lasted too long.
What's
it doesn't
clean-
look great on everybody.
What's clean girl aesthetic?
It's like these slick backed hair, like the really clean looking makeup, like the
no makeup.
brows, yeah, the gold jewelry, like very simple, like minimalistic, but like no fun, I guess.
Yeah, no pizzazz.
No
it's
pizzazz.
Like, it's like
No riz.
stealth wealth.
no
Yes.
It's no riz.
Yeah, it's like
stealth.
the row,
Yeah, yeah.
and like
Yeah.
well, like the wannabe row for like normal people. But I like mob life aesthetic because it's like the complete
More
opposite.
expression. You can more expressive.
Have you not seen it?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah. I like the big fur coats. I like the messy hair, like the big sunglasses. It's more my style, so I'm into it. But the aesthetics that it's like this and then that and then this and then that. And I'm like, we don't need that.
Can I wear my leopard print faux fur coat for mob wife aesthetic?
That's
I mean,
like
leopard
what it
print's
is.
coming back.
But I think as you've come to realize for me, when your fence finds, like, I don't like anything that's not real. Like, I don't like
A faux fur?
I don't want a real fur.
Apparently
because
now it's okay to get vintage fur.
It is. It always has
Allegedly.
been. It always has been. Oh yeah.
Even
like
with
celebrities
PETA?
would be like, this was my grandmother's coat. And it would be like a Givenchy, like brand
Brand
new.
new.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's kind of like, yeah. So
Well, fake fur looks like shit.
it just looks like shit. And I'm like, no, why not just get like, I like the original thing, even if it's not as cool.
Yeah.
Like I don't like like a real fur coat used to be before it was like totally bad and awful to have and wear. That was like a sign of wealth,
Right.
a sign of status,
Yeah.
like a diamond,
Yeah.
like all that like stuff. So I'm like, we're so obviously trying to be that, and it's just not. Like, let's just stick with like a beautiful wool coat.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing as the clean girl aesthetic, where it's like this fake rich, different versions
But at
of
least
fake
with
rich.
clean girl, they're not like, there's no pretending.
There's no like piece, like the one piece that's like
no, it's
the fur
just
coat.
yeah. I don't know. It's like the fur coat represented status at one point,
Of course.
and now the like stuffed animal that you're wearing it actually is quite the opposite of status.
I know.
From
We'll
Shein.
never forget the Christmas that my mom opened a gift for my dad, and it was a fur coat.
Yeah, me too. Oh yeah, my
And
mom
she
still
was
wears
like,
it.
Like,
oh yeah.
is Bryn from Real Housewives of New York like the mob wife aesthetic?
Kind of,
where
yeah.
she's like in a hat and a sunglass and like a huge fur coat over
Yeah,
her
it's
sweatpants.
like a bit more is more kind of a thing.
Yeah.
More is I love.
But the thing I think is so funny about the aesthetics, it's like capitalism at its finest. Because
Yes.
it's like, now this thing is in, so I
Right.
got to buy my fur coat, I
Yeah.
got to buy my red bag, I got to buy this, and this. And
Yeah.
like every person's doing that.
Yeah.
So it's like, now you got to buy a new wardrobe for the new aesthetic that's
Right.
in.
It's someone decided that in the Barbie CEO office, and they were like,
Yeah.
we have sold enough camel coats.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Everyone keeps
true.
wearing their same J. Crew camel coat. We must invent something new for the ladies to want.
And they do.
This was mob wife aesthetic again.
Really, really wanted us
Yeah.
to talk about it.
How do you all manage finances as a couple? Who handles what and how to budget?
Well, I'm going to throw you back. Vivian, too, she was just on Rich BFF, and she talked a lot about this.
Yeah.
But for me and Chris, we have our joint account. We each have separate accounts. We talk about money. We make goals about money. We have joint investments. We each have separate IRAs. I know how much money he makes. He knows how much money I make. I have never once asked him his permission to buy anything. I have fought him when he said we can't have a pool heater, and I was like, you, it's my money. I'm buying a
love
pool
that.
heater
I love
and I'll
that.
pay the bill. Like, and I am lucky because I have my own job and my own money that I can't imagine what it's like if you are a stay-at-home mom or if someone else is providing for you and you have to be like, can I go to Target today? Like, that would feel so weird to me, but I know people have to do that. So
Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would just urge anybody, like, if you don't work and you stay at home with kids, or you just don't work at all, and like your spouse does,
He should give you a salary.
well, that, yeah, that, but also you should definitely be let in on, at least know how much you have,
Yeah.
and how much every month costs for you to live.
Yeah.
It helps both people, because I find that my friends' husbands who they don't have that dialogue with, the husbands get resentful because the wives just spend because they don't have any idea.
Right.
Yeah.
But nobody's telling you.
But nobody's telling
Yeah.
you. And then if the wives ask, then you can have a little peace of mind and like stay within your means when you're shopping, or just know, because also people die. And like, there are so many people who lose their spouses early.
And then they have no idea how to even get into their bank account.
And they
No,
have
that's
no idea.
so true.
And
That's
also in
so
a
true.
divorce, like if you have your head buried in the sand and you get left, and you have no idea and no control over your finances, like there's no guardian angel that's going to swoop down and help you. People might be able to try, but like at the end of the day, this is something you just have to do.
Well, and especially for anybody going into a new relationship, like it's so hard to say that to somebody that's been married for 30 years. And it's like, you
I
got
wanna make a change.
Get control of your finances if you've been a stay-at-home mom or wife or whatever. But if you're getting into a new relationship, if you are going to be the one that's not working, like at least having that communication and that financial literacy overview.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be equal like Keltie and Chris, but like just to know and have logins. Cause like you said, people die and then you're like, I didn't know my husband's password.
Yeah.
And then you can't get into their bank account at all. Like that.
Oh my God. That is so crazy.
So scary.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And oh my God. Okay.
What?
Sorry.
Well,
I was
so
just
much on our
thinking,
mind.
I was just thinking of like, the hidden money, like not hidden money, but like,
People's like secret
okay,
accounts.
actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest. I was making up something kind of because I didn't want to tell you what I was really thinking about. And what I was really thinking about is so f***ing embarrassing. I was thinking about how excited I am to have, I thought of something I want to put on my to-do list. I'm so excited about it because I really want to go through all my subscriptions on my iPhone and see what apps I'm still using in 2024 and get rid of them, the ones that I'm not. And like, I probably have like $25 a month of like unused apps that I can put back in my account. That's what I was thinking. And I know it was dumb. And so I didn't want to tell you, but now I told you.
It's like when I was signed up for Raya or Tinder for like up until 2 years ago.
I've really
Like
been
Tinder
in the
Plus.
poor Jared. He's like, wait, what?
I'm definitely still on Raya
No.
because like Raya doesn't delete your profile. You have to like deactivate it. So I'm still spinning out there, probably matching with.
Really amazing people.
God
Can
knows
we just
who.
go on and see who's on right now? Or no, that's against the rules.
That's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what am I going to do? Get banned from Raya?
No, I'm saying as a married person. Like, what if you open it and it's like some hot person and you're like, I don't want to know. Like I actually have this. I have this with a guy in the business who's like pretty famous.
Yeah.
And in our 20s, late 20s, whatever, we always like hung out together in groups and whatever. And I was always kind of dating other people, blah, blah. Anyways, I did change my cell phone number at this like weird time in my life. It was a couple months after Matt died. And I was like, I just need to like a clean slate.
Yeah.
And I needed a new cell phone number and I got a new cell phone number. And then a couple years after that, I bumped into this guy and we had this like cute conversation of just catching up or whatever. But I could sense that he was like, the vibes were like kind of coming.
Why didn't you
know?
why didn't you reply to my text?
And then I left and I was like, I have this weird feeling that he has been messaging me on my old phone and that old number.
Yeah.
And I sat there and I was like, I'm now in a relationship.
Yeah.
So I can't be like,
Hey.
hey, here's my new number. But then I'm also like, do I just continue on and like
Never
after that
know.
run-in, did he
Never
send
know.
me a text being like,
Like,
it was so
great
good
to see you and you didn't respond?
And so I'm
No.
like, it's this weird thing that like I think about often. I'm like, if you're in like a bad position in your current relationship, like if Zach turned to me tomorrow and was like, I want a divorce, I would literally be like, I need to make sure this person has my phone number.
He's
like,
the first person you'd reach out to.
yes. So like, I'm just saying you don't want to I don't even want to know. You know what
Yeah.
it is? It's like, I don't want to know.
I want to know
So
who
badly.
the person is that got your phone number that this famous person had been texting.
People sent me screenshots for years of this person responding, being like, for the last time, this is not Becca's phone. Like, so they gave my number out way too soon.
Oh, no.
Way too soon. And
Oh,
I bet you
no.
this guy was one of the guys sending it.
And little did that person know that they were like a famous person.
I think they knew by then because it was like
You're right, aggressive.
so many people.
Hey, Becca, are you available for this movie? And then he's like, this is not f***ing Becca. And they're like, she's too hard to get a hold of.
And that's why my career sucks. It's because I changed my number. And I
That's
also,
it.
when I changed my number, I never told anybody. I just sort of like
Gave the
messaged
people
the
that
people
needed
that
it.
I needed to. And then I never told anyone else. So I think that's why that person
Wow.
got a little.
Butterfly
Do you
effect.
think that this person was more into you because you
Yes.
had not responded to the text?
1,000%.
I agree. I agree.
actually was like, if I had been responding all this time, like,
Yeah,
he
it
would
would be
be
too
over.
thirsty?
Yeah.
Too thirsty.
And I think the fact that I was also so nice to him
Yeah.
at that time, he was
And he was
probably
like-
like, what a mind.
Yeah.
She's so.
But like, why are you responding
Why are
to
you
my
such a
text?
bitch? Like, you're so
Playing
stuck
games.
up.
Wait, do I know who this person is?
Yeah.
I do. Do
I
you
can't
know
wait.
who she's talking about?
I have no idea. The
don't
mystery.
either.
This is like the unsolved mystery of LadyGang. Can we each have one guess? And if we get it right, you'll tell us?
Not on the podcast. no.
I literally can't. I don't even have a guess.
I'll get you an Us Weekly and you can look.
Okay.
Okay.
Is he still famous? Like, is he still? He's doing things currently. Okay.
Is he on the award season circuit?
Maybe.
What?
Is it Jason?
Is this somebody you've slept with?
No, that's the thing is that it's like I've never even like scratched that thing.
You've
like,
not even kissed him.
Never. But we always had like in our
vibe.
20s, like a fun flirtation.
Yeah.
And then there was a window that he did, I think, try to kind of like come in and I was just too.
You weren't ready.
Wasn't ready. And so I was like, didn't think about it. And then when I bumped into him that day, I was like,
You're like, it's all coming back to me now.
It's all coming back. Okay, let's talk about competitive moms.
like with their children or each other.
I don't have a competitive mom.
But moms are weird. Like,
And we're not talking about our moms. We're talking about women our age who are mothers.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean?
No offense, but I don't think anyone wants to hear about my mom.
Yeah. There's all these mommy bloggers and stuff that end up, it comes out that they were like starving their children. Like,
Oh my God, that or what was her name?
so fucking crazy to me, whatever her name is. And like,
the hell, Ruby?
like,
Starving our children?
yes.
She was like a mommy blogger and she had like 4 different kids.
She was abusing them.
Starving them. Like,
Oh, what? Didn't a video
Yes.
come out
It was
with
like a
her like
YouTuber or
bitching
something.
at her kid to say things on camera or
yeah,
something?
and saying that she wasn't gonna like feed him that day and shit.
It's wild.
her
But
and like it was her friend.
Yeah,
Both
good.
went to jail.
I just,
Oh, her friend went to jail?
Both of them were
Yeah.
doing
They
it.
were both doing it. Oh, I thought you meant her friend like called her out, and I was like, good
I
for
just,
the friend.
when you very rarely post Ford, and I love it when you do. Like I live for a Ford post, but you very rarely post him. When you post him, do you instantly get, he shouldn't be wearing a shoe like that at this age? No, people are cool.
I think if I were to go into DMs of people who, the only DMs that I really open and get and see are people that I also follow
Yeah.
or like LadyGang listeners who
Yeah.
I've had like a rapport with over
Sure.
the years. I don't go into that part of my Instagram. Truly, I never go in to see.
I'm dark place over there.
Yeah. But like even in my comments are filtered that if you don't follow me, you can't make a comment on my pictures.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So like you have to follow me. And I probably shouldn't say that because then like people will just
if
follow
they-
me for that time they wanted to write something shitty and then unfollow me. But
Oh, so it's not just you can do that only for people that follow you.
yeah. So like if I'm on a search page and somebody finds my page
And they're like, you
and
look
they're
like Caitlyn Jenner. They couldn't post
they
that.
couldn't.
That
so
sounds
they
nice.
can't. It's very nice. It's a nice way to control it. I'm sure there are people out there who have like comments about it, things and like opinions, but I also am aware of the things that really trigger people. Like you're never going to win if you post a picture of your kid in their car seat.
Yes,
Because
I was just thinking that.
depending on like the angle of the picture, it could look like the strap is lower than it is and not like it could look looser than it. Like people are cray.
That's the first thing that came to my mind about that.
By the way,
wild.
not to make myself sound old, but when I was growing, my dad had like a 62 Chevy and we used to drive around it and there were no seatbelts in the car.
No.
It didn't even exist.
No, car seats.
and you would face backwards.
Face backward. No, and also
or
when I was
I
like
had
in
the-
5th and 6th grade, the fun thing for me to do would be to drive for my 4-hour trip to the lake cabin. My dad would put a blow up mat in the trunk of his truck.
Yeah.
Because it had like the cover, the canopy.
Yeah.
And we would put blankets and me and Katie would chill back there. No seatbelts, flopping around like we were on a sleepover.
Yeah.
On the winter roads in Canada.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you
It's
know.
wild.
And
Yeah.
that is why I am like this.
Times have changed.
That's how it was as kids, but now it's like
Sorry, I
people
know
are
that
really
makes me
crazy.
sound so crotchety, but it's like
That's how we were.
give everyone a break. Like they're doing the best they fucking can.
Like a girl I know posted a picture of her newborn, and when sometimes if babies have more of like an olive complexion and they're most likely like if both parents are pretty fair skin and the baby has like a really olive complexion, sometimes that's a sign of jaundice.
Yeah.
So like the liver's not functioning properly or whatever. So, and every baby, like
So many babies.
have it,
jaundice.
and like they can have like a little bit of it and still be okay. Like it's just you monitor it for the first couple weeks of their life. So a friend of mine posted a picture of her newborn, and she had to go on and in her stories to be
No.
like, "Hey everybody, thank you so much for your concern, but I also don't think it's ever really concern. I always think it's just like people being like
know-it-alls.
Hey, like know-it-alls, and also being like, mommy shaming. Like you didn't know this. Your kid could be dying, and like you're just posting pictures of him. And she was like, he's healthy. He just had his bilirubin tested. Like that's what they call it. Like in the today with his pediatrician, he's okay. He's fine.
But my question is, where does that come from? Is it because you're so deep in your mommying and it's so difficult and you feel so alone that it's like when I look at Bella Hadid, I want to be like, that bitch, because she's like so snatched and so beautiful, and you want to automatically hate the other woman because you feel less than? Or is it like, what is the psychological thing behind watching other people's children and then like judging their mommyhood?
I think that there's two camps of women. I think there's camps of women who make their entire identity being the best mom ever, right? And so they take pride in that, and they like shun other people who don't appear to be as amazing as they are. They've made that their identity.
Okay.
And then I think there's another camp of women who all feel like they're getting it wrong, kind of they up occasionally. They like have a little tiny bit of like, I don't know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And then if they see something they actually know, it's kind of like when I was horrible in school. And if I knew the answer to like the one question, my hand would be like, this is the one thing I fucking know. This is the only thing I know.
Yeah.
So they're so eager to be like, to show that they know something because they're also so insecure. And I think also they get a little bit of that Schadenfreude. What is it? Where it's like the term.
Look at you making up a word.
No, it's a German term for like getting pleasure out of somebody else's pain.
Well, I was going to say there is also it's the same thing with any other type of internet bullying. It's like people are on their high horse. They probably have their own guilt about something or feeling like lesser than, like you were thinking. And this is going to make them feel better about themselves by being like, you're doing this wrong.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm a better mom.
There's also just so many know-it-alls.
People are just assholes. It's the internet.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to say anything to you about your car seat in public.
No.
It's only going to be when they go back to their phone on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you imagine like being in a Home Goods and looking down and being like, your baby looks a little jaundiced?
Yeah, exactly.
And not in a way where it's like, oh my, like maybe it's like,
hey,
no,
I just want to let you know.
looks like your baby has
The only
jaundice.
time
you should check that.
The only time I might ever say something is if it's a really young mother.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like a really, really young mother who probably doesn't have a lot of other mom friends who like, but that's pushing it. It would have to be crazy.
Or like
crazy.
the baby's choking.
Or yeah.
Like life or death.
The other day, I was in a Dick's Sporting Goods because I was trying to find like snow stuff because it was so fucking cold in Texas. And I was like, Ford has nothing snow related, whatever. So I'm there with Ford. And he's next to me. He's kind of playing with like some bullshit. And then I look over and there's like another little boy around Ford's age and he's with his dad, which I'm going to generalize here. Like, of course, the dad is like 8 feet in front of the kid looking at the workout equipment. And I'm like, that kid is so young. Like, he could literally
get swiped.
There were treadmills. There's a line, you know, it's a line of treadmills you can sample.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. So the kid's there and I'm like, I just sort of picked Ford up because also there's a weight bench and like, you know, they have the circular that you put on and off to make it heavier or lighter. The kid is sitting there. It's a 25-pound, like whatever you call that. And he's spinning it.
Oh my God.
And there's nothing stopping it from sliding off and landing on this kid's foot.
Yeah.
And I actually, cause I hate being that person. I'm like, I do not want anybody to feel like I'm like, you're not being a good parent. But I was like, I couldn't. I literally jumped and I grabbed Ford. I jumped in front of the weight and I was like, ooh, you don't want this to fall on top of you. And the dad looked at me like I was the most awful nosy, busybody, whatever. And I'm like,
you're welcome.
You're welcome. This kid, and that's the thing is like, it has to be that extreme for me to step in and tell anybody that something's going on.
Oh my God.
Fucking dads,
man.
Like, hello.
We would not exist as a human race if it were up to men to watch toddlers 24 hours a day.
No
I mean,
way.
Zach is a real exception, and I know there are some exceptions, but when you see a man usually with his toddler child, you're like, they just barely miss death every couple minutes. Just barely. And I'm like, we would not exist if it were for men.
I love you, and you're a great mom.
Thank you.
Okay, we weren't here for a long time. We're here for a shamefully...
Mommy shaming
time.
Are you a little jaundiced?